Hi guys, this is going to be my second time of explaining this design. I think the first explanation was just I rushed it and it was really shabby, right? Just pay close attention to what I am about to say, right? So everything you see here, like everything you see was done with Figma, 100% Figma, and I am about to explain that to you right now. Okay, now you can see the intention the intent behind this screen is that it serves as a get started screen, right? That allow user make a decision whether they want to create an account or they want to sign in an already existing account, right? Or they just want to skip to browsing the latest news updates on sports, right? You see, very, very clear. Now, the reason the skip is this faint is because normally users should not like spotlight that. Your priority should not be based on that. So at least you give them an option of creating an account and signing in, because it's a lot more beneficial to the users and also to you, right, as the owner of this app, right, to stakeholders, because you get to collect more data, you get to all of that. You get to run more personalized ads. There are so many things that comes with users creating an account and then also signing in, right? So again, you want to deprioritize that. That's exactly what we did. All right. So now let me explain how I was able to do this design. Now, everything you see here is majorly smart and neat. I mean, like the hard parts. But then here you see this were instant, right? So let me explain this. I'm going to duplicate this. I held my Alt and my Shift and then I just dragged it out. Now you see that before I even drag it out, let me make the connection. This and this are connected to each other. Now you see this here closing into this guy, right, with smart animate, with an intelligence. Is these two screens that are working, right? I simply used auto layout. You see, I'm using a um negative sign. See, if I close it up, you see more negative. If I open it up, you see what we have, right? Now these are the same image but different opacity level. You can see first image is 80%, followed by around 60%, and so on and so forth. Right, then I just turned it to an auto layout and then use a negative value like so, and then I adjusted it, right? So exactly what I did there, right? So after that, I just use my prototype mode, connect these two together. I used after delays 1 millisecond delay, right? And then slow. That's why you see how it just enters really slow, 600 milliseconds, subtle, right? So that's that with the animation, right? Yeah, that's that. And then you can see this board also as it gets to the screen, it gets bigger. Priority, like the priority changes, like, okay, this is about football. Then you see it move again to the next one about basketball. Now, again, the same idea. Two, after, so these two here were linked together. Then I moved this to this, still about football, introducing the um this here, the micro interaction. Yes, so you see all those snap thing, you see like this one here, the micro interactions. How I did that was create imagine this was your image, right? So imagine this was your image. Just create a component out of it, move another component, change this image, put something else there, right? And do it like that for three orders. Put image, and then go to your prototype mode, link it. I used after delay, and I put my after delay for right around 300 milliseconds, and I used instant. That's why you see it is really snapping, right? It's just instant. There is no dissolve, no effect, nothing, right? So you want to pay attention to that. And then I sent it back. That's why it is looping, and I still also use after delay. That's why you can see it is looping, right? So yeah, that's how I did that. Okay, so after I did that, I sent these screens. You can see they're not components because I needed it to transition like so. You can still make it components, but then I think that would just be redundant. Okay, so I linked this to this screen, then I introduced this here, the micro interaction, which is this, right? And then from here, I allowed it to wait for like 2000 milliseconds, right? And then I transitioned it to this screen you see here, right? And then this screen now continues. You see, after the ball then changes like to the next ball. That's why you see this transition. After this plays for about 2000 milliseconds, it transitions to this, where this guy takes over and plays this similar micro interaction. So that is exactly what I did. Okay. And as for the design decision, I think the decisions I made were pretty smart. So I'm going to take this off a little bit, right? Now you can see that there is an ellipse here with a radial effect. Now the idea is the I want the edge, the round, like around it to be like to be covered, to be subtle, to feather. So if I bring it out, you understand what I mean. You see the text I have here. This text, guys, was done by a plugin. I think I saw that from either Obus or Layer. So I saw the possibilities. So I came and typed randomizer, right? The idea with randomizer is that you can select group of elements, and then this is not the one I made use of. I think I made use of a mod, like a randomizer with more depth. I think this one, property randomizer, if I am not mistaken. Yes. And after I did randomizer for the field, right, I also did randomizer for the opacity. So I was able to get like really cool dynamics, right? So you can try that out, guys. So, and everything you see here is um it is auto layout, but the auto layout is wrapped. So you see, if I increase it, it is I expand. If I reduce it, it does like so. So it's wrapped. So that's how I was able to get this guy here. So you need to select the element and then activate the randomizer. Exactly what I did. Now back to more critical decisions that I made. So bringing this back in, I think here I deprioritized it and I already explained why I did that. It's still within the hue spot zone of the primary color, which is blue, but just less saturated and muted, right? Making it really subtle. Also, my background, so ladies and gentlemen, is not white. It is just few like values away from white just to keep it subtle again. White, I'm not an advocate for white. It blinds the eye. And I think not using white makes your design look a lot more subtle in the eyes, more aesthetically appealing, right? So here, this here, and these images, I got them from Google search. Just type New World Football HD PNG and you get it. All right, so this here, these images here, I got them from Icon Scout, right? And then this year I used Poppins and then I used Times New Roman. Who would have thought these two would have slapped? I wanted to use a Victorial new, right? Then medium and hopefully like an italic medium, but I did not find it. Right? I mean, this slaps, but then I think if you had like an italic version, it would slap even harder, right? But then I settled with Times New Roman. All right, so for the button, I simply did a linear gradient here, the primary color of sky news, right? Sky spots, right? And then just a little bit depth to it, make it darker, and then I had this sweet blend. And this that's not stroke around it though, that's shadow. And the reason I added that shadow was because I wanted to add another shadow upper layer, right? To give it this effect, but I felt like it was taking away the neatness, right? And then for this here, the signing, right? It's cute, right? Because again, still within the primary color hue spot zone, I just reduce the saturation and then increase the brightness a bit, right? And also it's not white. This is not white, guys. This is the fill is not white. It's just within that zone, right? So the stroke also, and then the text also, just to not to give proper visual hierarchy between these two, right? So yeah, so that was the decision I made, ladies and gentlemen. Here you have it. All right. So see you guys in the next design challenge. Love you guys. Bye.